Hi, and welcome to my very messy studio room. It's at the point now that it's really shameful and I really have to do something about it, but I just get so lost. I just don't know, like, any of the storage solution things that I try just doesn't seem to work for me. Anyway, yeah, that's beside the point. That's not what this video is about. Anyway, I had the privilege of attending ScrapFest this year again. I went last year, and last year I enjoyed it, but based on my experience last year, I thought maybe I wouldn't go this year. I kind of was wishy-washy. Like, I kept going back and forth on whether or not I should go this year. In the end, I decided that I would really regret it if I did not go, and it turns out that I'm really happy I went, and I had a lot more fun this year than I did last year. The main reason is that last year was the first time I went to it, and I didn't really understand how everything worked, and I was just kind of going around in circles and seeing all kinds of things that I wanted to buy but couldn't afford, it was fun and I liked it, but there were so many people and I couldn't really get in to spend the time at the booths. And anyway, but like I said, I'm really glad that I went this year. I had a much better experience this year because I understood better how it worked and I knew more what to expect, and this time I actually got in and I waited my turn instead of just kind of assuming that I couldn't get in on it, and I waited my turn and I did almost every make and take that was available to make. I'm not sure how many of them I missed, but it was a lot of fun. And so if you actually do the make and takes, the day is a lot more fun. And it goes really fast. And the fact that there are lots and lots of people almost like trying to shop at Christmas time, it's not quite as crazy making if you're actually breaking it up with having some fun making things. And as I was doing each one and as I was shopping, I got to see a lot of products and a lot of really cool ideas and things, and yeah, products that I didn't even know existed, and some of them are cool, and I might actually think about getting some of them, like neat types of glue that have applicators and stuff and the glue actually works really well and stuff, and just really neat stuff and techniques that I wouldn't have really thought about. Like, I'm not really a scrapbooker. I keep thinking that I want to get into it. I want to get into scrapbooking, but I guess it's not really my thing. Art journalers can get a lot out of a scrapbooking convention, a ScrapFest, and so I did. I had a lot of fun, and so I just wanted to share some of the make and takes and maybe a couple of the things that I bought because they were pretty cool. And so yeah, I probably don't have them in the order in which I made them, but I don't think that matters too much. Anyway, so one of them was this really cool tag. What an awesome idea. They had rolls of washi tape on a ribbon, and you just chose 3 of them that you really liked, and then they had these flames ready for you to glue on. But isn't that just awesome? It's just such a cool idea. Now that I'm home and I'm looking at this tag, like, if I were to make a birthday card that looked like this, I would do a better job of placing them, and I would probably do some shading with a colored pencil or something. You know, some shading to make it look more. But still, isn't it really a cool idea? And on this piece of washi tape, I had cut my piece too big, but I liked it too much to just throw it out, so I just stuck it here on the back. And the tag itself is pretty neat too, and so that gives me a pattern to use to make myself more tags like it. Like I could use cardstock to make this, and that's, yeah, this is really, really neat. I was really, like, I was just going around the booths, and this caught my eye, and she said, "Do you want to make one?" And I said, "Sure I do," so I did. Now, this make and take was offered by Scrap Much, and I think some of the names of the businesses are really good, like really neat, neat names. And I love this postcard that I got from it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I will try to remember to put links to these places in case you're interested. Okay, and then a make and take offered by Boys Rule scrapbook kits, and they're I'm seeing that they had their information right there. Okay, this was really neat, but I had to wait a very, very long time before I had my turn to do this. There was a young girl who, she just seemed to always be at the same make and take as I wanted to be or do, or we got to do a couple of them at the same time, but it was neat how it just kind of happened that way. I never found out what her name was. I should have, I guess. I wasn't thinking, I guess. Anyway, so basically they had stencils and die cuts that do letters and words. So you chose what paper you wanted to cut the today and the was and everything from, and oh yeah, and amazing too was another die cut. And then they had some confettis and some this is what really attracted me to this make and take. Like these letters were really, really cool, and I would love to have a package of those, but I'm sure that they're not cheap. So anyway, yeah, those are really cool letters, so I thought that I would make the make and take, and I think it's a really neat postcard too, like, or whatever this is. And like I with each make and take that I did, I tried to stick with a kind of a theme that matched how I was feeling about the day, and especially since that's kind of what their theme was and stuff. But yeah, when I could, I would go with today was fun type of sentiment. And then, like, after you were done gluing all your stuff on and doing your stenciling, they had a neat stencil there. But when you were done doing your stenciling and whatever you wanted to do on your card, then you got this little bag to attach to the back, and you were able to put a few of the neat stuff that they had in a neat container box thing, so that you could yeah, you could have some and put it on, and I think it looks neat. Okay, so again, that's from Boys Rule scrapbook kits, and that was fun, and in my opinion it ended up being worth the wait, especially since while I was waiting, I was able to watch other people and make up my mind of what I wanted for each piece and stuff, and kind of build it in my head while I was waiting, so that when I did have my turn, it didn't take quite as long for me to complete mine, and then the next person could do their thing, of course. So this, I was attracted to doing this one mostly because it's a real scrapbooky feel, and I want to learn techniques and ideas for doing better, you know, for doing layouts and stuff like that. And I am a card maker, but my card making is kind of different, so this is good for that too. Like, it's, yeah. So anyway, this was a stamp, and the lines were a stamp, and then they gave you this piece of baker's twine or whatever you call this stuff, and this was a neat stamp as well. And it's not what the F, it's wow, that's fantastic. So like, normally I wouldn't really like what you immediately think that means, but when I saw that it actually stands for wow, that's fantastic, then I was happy, and you know, I did it. Yeah, and so there's nothing inside. It's just a card. Nothing inside except for their company information. So this is from Stamplicity Paper Arts. And so yeah, that was pretty neat. I like the paper that you backed it up with. And like, again, like when I look at this, like I keep thinking of how, like, what I would do even further to, you know, to make it, now that I'm home. Like, I don't have the stamps, but you know, anyway, but like, I would probably do something to the edge of this card before putting it on. But I like the idea of having this under. Now, I might have, like, if I wasn't following exactly what they did, I might have put it around only this one, not under this one too. But anyway, this is neat. I like it. I think it's pretty. Okay, this was the first one that I did, and I really love the company. Okay, so this was the first make and take I did, like, almost on arrival. When I arrived, I went straight to the Art House Studio booth because I know Karen Ellis, and you know, I just wanted to make sure that I visited her booth and knew where it was and everything. Yeah, I went there first, and then I went back to the beginning and started circling around, and then I spotted a cork board with a whole bunch of different tags on it. And then I noticed that people were making them, and that there was a whole table full of stickers. And, well, I love stickers, so there was no way that I was going to resist making that. So she gave me this card, this piece of paper, and I love it. I think it's really cool. And then she gave me this piece because this is the one that I chose. There were different shapes and things that you could choose to put on top of this piece, and I loved this one best. And then I just had some fun choosing some stickers to put on, and again, I remember today, super fun day, so the same kind of theme. So, while I was making the card, I put this yellow sticker on, and the middle of the sticker had a yellow dot, and I removed the dot, and then I thought, well, I don't want to get rid of the dot. I don't want to just throw it out. So I turned the card over, and then I was so excited to learn that the other side had the lettering too. And and so then I went and I found other bits. Another bit from this set of stickers here with the butterfly, and then I found the smile word, which I love. I almost like this side better than than this side, but I do like the entire tag. So anyway, this was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I asked for a business card because I wanted to remember, I wanted to remember who offered this make and take. And when I saw the card, well, that's really cool. It's the scrapping turtle, and my sister and I have a thing about turtles, and my cousin too. And I so love it. It's just so adorable, and yeah. So this is my favorite business card from the day. So and then I asked for a paper clip so that I could put the card on it, and there you go. Yeah, so that was the first one I did. The second one I did was this, A Perfect Day. I don't know if I'd say it was perfect, but it was a pretty cool day. Now, I don't tend to like green very much, but this was the only option. Like, there wasn't a choice of colors of the, the main cardstock piece. But I really, really, really loved the bird, and so I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this make and take. And I mean, if I really wanted to, what I could do is just cut the blue part off and just have like a tag, just have the bird part. But I also really love this, and I was tempted, like I kept seeing this embossing folder for sale there at the different booths, but in the end I didn't get it, but I kind of regret that I didn't now. So like maybe next time I see this embossing folder I might get it, because it's really cool. And I love this blue. But anyway, I really love this bird. I just had to do this make and take. Yeah, that's that one. And this one was from... Actually, I don't know which one. This might be... I'm going to assume this one was from the Scrap Rack. But I had this inside there, so... Oh, maybe it was... Okay, hold on a second. So this is a pretty cool pamphlet. And this is what I had inside here, inside this card. So it must have been a Frog's Whiskers Ink. Wow, that's hard for me to say. Frog's Whiskers Ink. Art, rubber stamps, and supplies. So that might be the company. I'm very sorry to the make and take people who did this one. I'm sorry. I am not sure who did this one. Yeah, sorry about that. It might be the Scrap Rack, because this card kind of fell out from there, from somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure. This was so... Oh my gosh. This is one of my top 2. I really loved this make and take. This is so... I was tempted to get the starter kit for making these, but there was such a lineup, and waiting my turn to actually be able to make this took a long time, and I just ran out of patience to wait to find out like exactly what the kit included and how much it would be and all that stuff. So I didn't get the kit, but it's really cool. So basically it's a special type of marker that you color right directly on the stamp, and apparently the stamp has to be a specific type of stamp as well. I don't know for sure, but anyway, also the paper that it's on it's like a photo paper. It's glossy on this side. Anyway, it was really, really cool. So basically she told you to choose 3 different colors and put them on. I did a few more than I did a little bit more than the 3 that I was supposed to choose. But anyway, so you did some light colors and then some darker colors, and basically you just colored your stamp, and then you stamped it on, and it just does some really cool stuff. Like, it did stuff that I wasn't expecting it to do, and I was just really amazed by it. And I guess it was a you had to be there type of moment, but, or you know, you had to watch it happening. But it was so cool. And then she said, we're not done yet. And then she had a really awesome, beautiful stamp that I would love to have. Big one, like a big stamp. And then she stamped that on the background, and see the butterflies and the text and everything. So she did that on top. And I don't know what kind of ink she was using. I don't know if like the ink that she stamped on top was a special kind of ink too, or what. But isn't that just gorgeous? It's just so awesome. And so yeah, I really, 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 really loved this one. And so yeah, it might be my favorite make and take of the day. It's this one or another one that I'm going to show you later. Not sure. Okay, and then, so, oh, and that was by Local King Rubber Stamp. I'm pretty sure that was them that did that awesome, awesome make and take. And they had a whole table of amazing ones that they did like that. It's just, oh wow, so beautiful. Just really love it. And it's kind of like magic the way it works. And anyway, I just really, 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 really enjoyed that one. Anyway, and then this is just the like the little leaflet, the map of, you know, where the booths are and who's who and stuff like that. And some, anyway, this is just the little leaflet that they give you when you get in, after you pay and you go into the event. Yeah. I had to try a couple of times before I was able to actually sign up in order to come back to do this make and take. So yeah, I came around a couple of times before I actually, there was room for me, and then I signed it up, and then it was still free to make it, but there was only like 3 spots at certain times of the day, and so I signed up to do it to make mine at 2:40, and I arrived, and that same girl was there for many of the other make and takes that I was telling you about earlier. That same girl was there, and a friend of hers was there too, and doing this one at the same time. And so anyway, I got there in time to do mine. The instructor was kind of, she seemed kind of confused a little bit, and I guess she was taking over for someone who had been doing it pretty well all day or something, or yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, she seems a little bit confused, and then another one came around, and she said, well, you got in just in time because the next group, I ran out of supplies, so they're not going to be able to do it, and so I'm going to have to talk to them and stuff. So anyway, I was glad that I got in on it just in time. So basically, there was an instruction booklet that had, it looked kind of like this, but it had like samples of what cards you could make, and so this is, so I didn't have a choice of which one I wanted to make. She just gave us each a little kit. Anyway, I ended up with this one, and so I was making it, and I kind of liked it and stuff. I mean, it's not very cheerful. It's not very bright colors. So if I were to make something like this on my own, like, I would choose different colors, but I do like the embellishments and the things, and it gives me a neat idea of how to do, like, the scrapbooking style of things. And so I like that. And I was finishing up, and I stuck it inside this adorable envelope that it came with. I stuffed it in, and then I had a very hard time getting it back out again. So that's why I'm not putting it back in. At least not until I've shown you what I wanted to show you and everything. So, maybe if I put it in that way. Yeah, okay, if I put it in that way instead of that way, like I did, it'll probably fit better. But I'm still not going to risk it yet until I'm done showing you what I'm showing you and telling you. So anyway, I was just finishing up putting my button on, because that was the last thing. So I was gluing the button on, and she said, okay, so this kit is $41. And I kind of reacted like I just did here on camera. But I tried to keep it to myself, like I had my head down and I was working on it, but I kind of reacted like, really? $41 for this? I mean, it's nice, and I appreciate that I was able to do this one for free, and, you know, it's pretty cool, but really? And I just couldn't wrap my head around that price for this. But later, when I kind of was thinking about it some more, and then, you know, after the fact and everything, I realized that she probably meant that a kit that allows you to make several different types of these kinds of cards, like all the cards that were in the booklet that this sample that I was looking on for reference, all of the cards in that booklet, you get the kit to make them all. That would probably be worth $41, because there are, you know, pieces of there are, you know, like each individual piece is probably worth, you know, some, and so that way it made more sense and stuff. But I didn't have you know, I didn't have a lot of money with me. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't get the kit. And so, but yes, I did. I am glad that I was able to get in on that, you know, at the last minute. That was by Scraptures Kit Club, which is a really cool name for the company, because they make kits and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And these guys had a grab bag for like $5, and I was tempted to get it, but I left it there in the end. I sort of regret not getting it, because I really have a thing for grab bags. I really love them. Like surprise bags, like you don't know what you're getting, but you know, I used to get them when I was a kid. I used to get them a lot from the local stores, the grocery stores and such, convenience stores and things, because they, you know, at the time they had a lot of, you know, penny candy and toys and things. I just love surprise and grab bags and stuff. And at festivals and stuff, they had them, and I just really enjoy it's fun. It's fun to not really know what you're getting, but, you know, I was trying to be reasonable with my spending, like, just trying. So I did not get that. I tried several times to get in on a Technique taster. My friend Karen Ellis, who owns the Art House Studio store in Cambridge, is now the proud authorized Brother sewing machine dealer, so in Canada. So she represents the Brother machines here now. So her Technique taster, which is very much like a make and take, she had these little kits, and you cut out pieces of paper to make this really cool card that I'm going to show you. So she made these cool things. She cut out all the pieces that each person doing the technique taster would need using her brother machine, and then she put each piece through a Xyron sticker maker. I love my Xyron, but she has the big one. Like, I have just this little one. I have just this one, so like most of the pieces don't fit. Like, it's only small things can fit in this one, but she has the big one that, you know, you can fit, and I want that one, but you know, that's for a dream for another time. Anyway, so she did all that, and you know, beforehand, and then she had several classes throughout the day at ScrapFest where you had to have one of these in order to be able to do it. It was free to do it, but you had to have one of these in order to do it, and I hadn't gotten it in time. I arrived a little bit late that morning, and so everybody had snatched it up from you know, before I had a chance. But every time that I came around and she was doing one of them, I came around and checked with her to see if I could join in case somebody who had signed up and didn't show up, you know. So I stuck around just in case. Well, after the third time and the last class of the day that she was doing, I finally got in on it. But so she said, okay, sit down, because it was me and another woman who wanted to do it, and we were standing in line waiting just in case. And two people who had signed up didn't show up in time. And so so Karen said, okay, sit and we'll get started. Well, just as we were sitting, the two who actually had signed up came in, and we had to give up our seats because, you know, they had one of these and we didn't, and you know, it's only fair. I was disappointed, but you know, there you go. So I started to get up, and then Karen said, hold on. And so she went looking in her, and she saw that she had enough extras to make up a kit for me and the other woman. And so we pulled up a chair and set up, and we were able to get in on it after all. So thank you, Karen. I really did enjoy doing it, and I'm really glad that I got the opportunity. I very much appreciate it. And everybody else who was there, you know, who had to put up with waiting for me and the other woman yeah, thank you for your patience and for letting us get in and, you know, making room for us and everything. So anyway, so this is the information. Okay, and then, so yeah, it's a quilt card. It was made with quilters in mind, but obviously paper crafters can enjoy it as well. And it's a really cool machine. I am kind of tempted to want one. But for now, I'm still quite happy with my Big Shot machine. The only thing that this does that my Big Shot can't do is that I could scan. Basically, this is a scan and cut. But like, I could scan in an image and it would print it out for me, and it would cut out a stencil for me, or it would do all kinds of cool stuff. It's a cool machine, it really is. But, you know, for now, for my purposes, I'm happy enough with my Big Shot. It does almost everything that this will do. This won't emboss, but my Big Shot will. So there you go. So anyway, Brother Scan and Cut machine is really awesome, and you can do some really cool stuff like this. And so yeah, each piece that you see was made into a sticker, and then you put it on, and it was really cool and fun to make this. And then you pop dot this one and had a really cool stamp. and she gave us a really cool idea on inking, making your own ink stamp. But I'm not gonna share that because I don't know if it's okay to or not. Anyway, it was really cool. My jaw dropped, and it was like 5 minutes later my jaw was still on the floor because it was really, oh my gosh. But anyway, and so on the inside we did this and the stamp, and I intended to put this, yes, I intended to put this one up there. Yeah, anyway, I intended to put it at a different place, but anyway, this is still pretty cool. So this, in my opinion, is a really beautiful, awesome, cool card, and I'm really, really grateful that I was able to do this. So thanks again, everybody involved. Oh yeah, and it came with a cool envelope, and I just kind of stamped another flower stamp on there quickly. When I left that make and take, it was getting close to the end of the day, but Karen is also associated with Canadian Scrapbooker magazine. You could get a subscription for the magazine and stuff. There was a booth there, and they had like older issues for $5, and I got this issue mostly because in a quick flip through I saw those adorable guys, and I just had to have this magazine, and so I did get it, and I've read it, and it's really it's really a good magazine. The thing is that I'm really not a scrapbooker, but there are things for you know, it's not just for scrapbooking. For example, this, you know, that's not a scrapbooking really exactly. It's more art journaling and stuff, and so, you know, it's pretty cool. It's really a good magazine. But the magazine that I really, really, really love, and that I actually did get, was this one. Well, I got that one too, but is this one, and I anxiously await for this one I think it's like quarterly or something, and I read it from cover to cover, and I just love it, and it inspires so many ideas, and I love this magazine. Anyway, so I got that magazine from Karen's booth, and I got the Scrapbooker magazine from their booth, and I got this really neat paper bookmark from there, mostly so that I'd know where I got that magazine from. And at one of the booths there was a really cool thing, and I didn't know what it was, and then I asked about it, and she described it to me. She told me what you do with it and everything. Basically, it's a special kind of clay, a mold where you make your own buttons with them. It was really neat, but I didn't buy it. It wasn't really that expensive, but I didn't really see that I had a justification to buy it, like a good use for it. So I asked for a catalog, and I got this one thinking that that item would be in here, but I have since looked through this several times and can't seem to find it. So what must have happened is that she showed me a bigger catalog that you had to pay like $5 to get, like it was, you know, thicker, and that catalog must have had that item in it. But anyway, so but I got this one, and it has some neat, cool ideas and products in it and things. So as I was telling you earlier, I really love grab bags, and I saw this $2, and I thought, okay, why not? So I went for the one labeled love, and I got some pretty nice pieces of paper, and they're double-sided. So this is my favorite sheet from them. I love the bird. He's so cool. The birds. Okay, so that's my favorite sheet. And the back is very pretty also. And this is embossed and has some glittery stuff. And so yeah, that's a really cool sheet. And this one also has glittery embossing on it. And it's pretty nice. That makes some nice borders and things. And the other side is nice also. And this one. And also has some glittery. The glittery is kind of embossing. Not exactly, but sort of. And then the back. And this also is glittery, embossy, nice. And the back is a nice polka dot. I like polka dots. And so yeah, that's not too bad for $2. You know, these types of sheets are usually what, $1 each at least, if not more, when they have like really special stuff on them like that. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that purchase. I was tempted to get more than one, but you know, since I didn't really know what would be in them, I didn't really. Sorry, but I'm not sure where that came from. Near the end of the day, I wanted a picture in front of the canvas that they have set up there. When I got there, I took a few selfies, but it was really hard, and a couple of them turned out okay, but I mean, still, it's hard. One of the staff at the booth next door was good enough to take a couple of pictures for me. So that's one thing that's not quite so great about if you go by yourself, is that you don't really have anybody to take photos with you and stuff. But at the same time, going by yourself has its benefits, because you can linger as long as you want, and you can leave whenever you're ready to leave, or you can stay as long as you want to, as long as the building's still open. But anyway, so anyway, yeah, it has its pros and cons to go by yourself. I think I like being there by myself though, because it's kind of a neat feeling of freedom or something. Anyway, I had been eyeing a make and take pretty much all day, but it was always, like, every time that I came around to it, it was always very full. Like, there was always at least 6 people around. There were 6 spots, and there were always at least 3 people standing around waiting to go and do it. And so this was happening every time that I went around to see if I could get in on, get my chance. And then towards the end of the day, I went again, and it was still really full. But then somebody got up, and I sat down, but on my way there, I saw this neat little heart on the floor, and I just now noticed that it has a little piece of double-sided tape, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, I picked that up and put it in my bag, and then, yeah, while I was waiting for a spot to clear up there, I had the picture taken, and then I would have had more than one photo taken, but, more than one pose or whatever, but a big group of people wanted the same person to take several photos for them, and so I just said, okay, this is good enough. I have a photo, it's good enough. So yeah, then finally I was able to get in on this, and it was like it was going to the whole event was going to close soon. I thought I said to the person, to the instructor, I said, well, if I can just have the pieces, I can finish it at home. And she said, okay. But then it ended up that two other women wanted to do it too, and so they ended up setting us up, and we were able to do it after all. So this is the really pretty card. I love that stencil, and this and that was a technique that I never really thought of, to use an ink pad through a stencil. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, and then this is a stamp, and then you color it, and they had this really neat blending solution stuff. Like, I don't even know what it was exactly. So basically you use your Prismacolor colored pencils, and you color a little bit, and then you use the blending solution with the blending stuff, one of these things, and then you blend it. Put this on the blending solution stuff, and then it blends it. Neat. It was really neat. And then I saw that the one of the instructors was using some sandpaper to clean off her blending stump. So that's a pretty cool technique too. Pretty neat stuff to learn. So anyway, I quite like this. This is a really nice, pretty card. So I made it into a happy birthday card because the sentiments were limited on, you know, the choices available to me for the stamps and everything. But yeah, I really like this, and it gives me an idea, you know, for a layout in a card. And that was by Pointer Gifts and Craft. Okay, and so once this was done, the building was closing, and so I had to go. And so that was that. I have one other thing and story to show you. Oh, two other things. I came by a booth, and I was really captivated by the wonderful display. Taken by this display that I saw. It was so cool, and it was such a really neat idea, and I was like forming in my head all these ways that I could recreate it, you know, on my own. But you know, what they were selling would make it a lot easier and everything. But I was thinking, yeah, I can make myself one of these. That's a really cool idea. That's really neat. And as I was standing there thinking these things to myself, this woman came up to me, and she gave me this card, and I looked at the name, and I love the name. The Paper Pickle. I just love it. That's so cool. And the women that were attending the booth were really, they're really cool. They're really awesome. So I looked at that display, and I really considered getting it, and then I got distracted, or I had to go to the make and take or something that I had signed up for or something, or anyway, for some reason I had to leave in a hurry. And then after that I came around again, and the display caught my attention again, and I was like, and I debated. I stood there for a very long time debating whether or not to get it. And then I finally decided, okay, just go for it, just do it, just get it. So I got myself a little kit in order to make them. So basically, it's a lid, and it's white, so it's going to be hard to... So it's a lid, and I could paint it any color I wanted to, I suppose. And it has it's like a binder clip like thing on top that you put, like I could put the card up like that to say, to like to give a recipe or to say what's inside, or you know, whatever. And then you fill the mason jar with your with whatever. And as you can tell by this video, I am a very bad storyteller. Oh, but anyway. Okay, so this lid has a hook on the inside. Okay? So the hanger has different hangers on it, right? And so you can do this and then hang different stuff from it. Like they had a display there with an idea for like hanging beads creations and things. And then you replace this lid with this lid. So you hang stuff from it, and you replace the lid with this, and then you put your display card in it. Okay, you would do a better job of it, but anyway, so you put it on, and then you hang stuff. And I kept thinking, okay, a Halloween display, a Christmas display, a Easter display, and you can just keep rotating it. You can keep changing it out, and so you only need the one, really. So you keep changing it out, and I just absolutely had to get it because it's just really cool. And it gives me the, you know, the idea and the pattern to make some for myself, you know, or make something inspired by it anyway. And so yeah, that's just really, really cool. While I was showing you this, I remembered one other thing. I said that I had two more things to show you. But in fact, I have 3 more things to show you. Well, this was one of them, so 2 more now. Anyway. Gosh. So anyway, she gave me this cool little bag to put it in. Put my little kit in. And so yeah, I thought it was really cool. Oh, yeah, here's one example of what you can do. And here's another one. So yeah, very, very cool. And I'm thinking that this package might end up being something, like I could make something with that. I'm not sure what, but that's kind of cool. So yeah, when I was telling you all about the Canadian scrapbooker and the Brother Machine and Karen Ellis's Art House Studio and all that stuff, I was leading up to my other very favorite make and take of the day, and I got distracted and forgot to show you. This was the make and take that I was able to do with the Scan and Cut Brother. And basically this is a Shrinky Dink, and I love it. It's so awesome. So basically I had a piece of plastic. Within the machine I chose the word piece and was able to make it whatever size I wanted to, and they were showing me how to do it and everything. And then once I chose it, the machine cut the word out in the plastic for me, and then I used some markers and colored it in, and then she put it on some kind of craft sheet or something and put it in the toaster oven, and it shrank. Like when I colored it, it was like maybe it was at least twice as big, maybe more, and then it shrank, and it's anyway, I just really love it. It's really cool. And yeah, it's kind of neat. It's thick thick now. Like when I colored it in, it was like a thin piece of acetate, and now it's like a thick. It's a thick piece of plastic, and anyway, I love it. I really do. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to show you. So another long story that I'll try to make shorter. I was just kind of looking around shopping and stuff, and I overheard another customer talking to somebody, and they showed this thing and didn't know what it was, but I had seen this on YouTube before, but I didn't really understand it. I didn't know what it was all about. So anyway, I got her to explain it to me and to tell me her opinion and everything. And she seemed very honest. Like, she said it works like 95%. You know, it works good. It does it. I don't understand why or how it works, but it does. Apparently, it does work. I haven't tried it yet, but it's called an embossing powder prep, or it's an. I guess people call it an embossing buddy. And like I said, I haven't used it yet, but so this is another thing that I stood there considering it, trying to figure out if I could justify it, like if I do enough embossing to justify buying it. Another person overheard me say this out loud, and she said, well, how much does it cost? And I showed her the price, and it's $7. And she said, well, that's a very good price. It's usually a lot more than that. It's usually like double that or something, and if that helps. And I said, well, yeah, it does. So anyway, I ended up buying it. I hope I won't regret buying it. I do intend to do more embossing than I have been doing, and so yeah, hopefully it will help, because when I do emboss, I do tend to get a lot of, you know, the powder where I don't want it to be, and so this is supposed to help prevent a lot of that, or, you know, so yeah, you rub this on your surface before stamping the Versamark or the, you know, the embossing ink, and then you do the embossing process, and it's a mystery. I don't really understand how it works, but anyway, it's by Inkadinkado. The product is an Inkadinkado, and I tend to like that company's products. So anyway, I got it, and hopefully I will be happy with the results of using it. And she said that it lasts a long time, so it's not like I'll have to replace it often and stuff. So she knows somebody who's had one for like 4 years and is still working really well. So that was from Scrapbook Moments and More that I got that one from. Okay, so I hope I didn't bore you too much and annoy you with my very bad skills at telling stories and jumping all over the place and all that stuff. If you get a chance to go to ScrapFest or something like ScrapFest, and I'll have a link so that you'll see what it's all about and everything. But yeah, if you get a chance to go to one, I do recommend it. It's neat. And by the way, I think that like quilters might be able to get some stuff out of it too, like you might be able to get some neat ideas and stuff, and scrapbookers, art journalers. Yeah, I mean it's geared mainly for scrapbookers, but not only scrapbookers can get a lot of good stuff out of it. They have good deals, ScrapFest special offers and things, and they have contests. It's fun. It's neat, and you know, you take your scrapping friends with you and go and have a good fun day, or the whole weekend if you want to, and do some crops and stuff. It's, yeah. Basically, I recommend it. If you can attend one, do it.